about these young people is not only are they incredible math students. I am so proud. And this is my opportunity to talk to Richard and Brittany and Thomas, and there are 8 other young people. If I could run through the list, I could. But these young people were unbelievable, not only in math, but also in English. They're incredible English students, and the people who took AP English, they all passed the AP exam. Every single one of them. And this is an unbelievable accomplishment. This is a very, very, very demanding test. And all the young people at Providence St. Mel who took this AP exam, they passed. And we are very, very proud of that. This is a college prep school, but not only do we claim it to be a college prep school, but we're showing you some of the results of the hard work of the young people and their accomplishments. I've got Mr. Richard Young, AP. For those who don't know what AP means advanced placement. They're college courses that are offered while in high school. The students receive college credit while in high school, and those credits transfer to the college of their choice. As with Mr. Richard Young. Richard, tell us how many college credits that you brought to by the way, what school do you attend, Richard?
I attend Washington University in St. Louis.
How many college credits did you bring to Washington University from Providence St. Mel?
I brought 15, which is a whole semester's worth. So technically, I am a sophomore right now.
My goodness, isn't that wonderful? This is wonderful. He came to the college with 15 college credits. This is a long way from saying, well, we're a college prep school, but our students are not doing well in college. He's coming to the college with credits. I want you to answer some of the same questions that we asked Thomas and Brittany. What are some of your interests? What's your major at
WashU?
WashU. Thank you. Some of your interests, your hobbies?
Well, my main hobby is football, and my other hobbies are basketball and music. And I also, me and my friends, we also have like a theater kind of movie. We make like small movies.
I didn't know that.
And display them just for fun. It's not a professional thing, but we do that. And another one of my hobbies is going to tutor, do community service in the community. We tutor kids that live in lower income neighborhoods. We go there about twice a month or so, and then we just go hang out with the kids, play games with them, tutor them, just talk to them, and try to be an advocate for them, tell them that there is something different from the neighborhood they're in, so they could be just like us.
Now this is in St. Louis?
Yes.
Is this East St. Louis possibly?
No.
No, okay. No. Well, this is wonderful. We're trying to develop the young people not only to be incredibly smart students, but to also have a heart and have to understand that there's a responsibility that they have to help someone. They've been blessed. These young people are incredible, the best I've seen. And to complement that with an integrity and a willingness to help someone, I think will destine them to be very, very, very successful. Richard, I want you to talk about the moment where you decided where school was important to you and that you were going to put forth your best effort to really dominate whatever subject you take and incorporate the impact that your family had on that decision.
Well, my father, he always instilled in me that I was going to college no matter what. I remember when I was as small as like 4, he would just sit at the little kitchen table with me and help me do my homework, and then until he couldn't help me anymore. And then when I really got serious about college and everything was sophomore year, because my sister had just graduated when I was a freshman, and I was always in her shadow at Providence St. Mel. And then I really grew into my own, and I knew that she was going to a big school because she goes to Notre Dame. And I know that I wanted to go to a school that was just as great as that or even better. And so when I saw that she could do something like that, I knew that I could do something like that too, because my sister is a great person, and she raised me just like I was her own son, and she always tried to take care of me. So I knew that I had to do something to help her show that all her hard work was for something.
Olivia is a nice person.
Oh yes, Olivia is a nice person.
I'd like to, in the same way that Richard needed to see his sister, well, not necessarily needed to see his sister do something to to have goals and desires and whatnot. I'm hoping that this show will in some way inspire a young person. Well, wait a minute. If Richard and Thomas and Brittany are doing something, well, maybe I can dominate subject 2. Maybe I can go to a top tier school as well. Good evening. Thank you for calling. Welcome to Chicago Students Dominate Math. You have a question for Mr. Richard Young.
Yeah, I want to commend Richard on his success. And I want to ask him what major he took in on his college and the factors that influenced him in taking up that major, his 15 credit.
Well,
thank you for calling.
I'll take my major is biomedical engineering, and I'm double majoring. My main major is biomedical engineering. My second is electrical engineering. What biomedical engineering is basically everything that the doctors have, like the pacemakers or like any of the machines they use. We make those, and we find out ways to make them better and like help patients live longer, help just people live longer in general. And I chose that major because it's very respected major. It has a very good starting salary. Most of all, it's there to help people. And also, at the end of the 4 years, if I wanted to, I could decide to go into med school, because med school and BME are like two closely related fields. So if I decide to go into medical school after BME, so then I could be an engineer and I could be a doctor.
Wonderful. Thank you for calling, caller. Richard, tell me your number one accomplishment at Washington first semester.
My number one accomplishment was just surviving. College is a wonderful time. You just there, and you don't have all the freedom you have, and sometimes that freedom gets a little bit too much for first semester freshmen. But once you get into school, you just gotta buckle down, study, do all the work you can do, and then once you get past that first semester, you just got to keep going. I know it's kind of easy to say that, I got my B's my first semester, I'm good, but you just got to keep going and just keep surviving. Don't let the partying get to you either.
And what Richard, tell us the number. Oh, by the way, I don't know if we mentioned this, but Richard attends Washington University in St. Louis, an incredible school in Missouri. The number one area of concern that you've had at Washington University, the number one area where, man, if you could have done just one thing differently, what would that one thing have been, Richard?
Well, one thing that I regret not doing was taking chemistry in high school. I took a AP class, which was good in hindsight, but it really messed me up in college because I had to take it without having any chemistry experience. So if you have a field that you want to go into, make sure you take all the classes for it. Even some classes you might not want to take, but you just have to take it because in college it will be that much easier.
We have a caller. Caller, you have a question for Mr. Richard Young. Thank you for calling.
This is Jamise calling. The question can be for either of the students. I'm a freshman at Northwestern University, and I know that personally I had a rough time transitioning from high school to college, and I wanted to know if any of the students experienced a rough time with the transition, and if so, how they handled it.
I had a very hard time adjusting to college. Like I said, the freedom, and in high school I had to study, but I didn't have to study as much, and it was trying to balance the social life, because when you get into college, it is lots of parties going on, but you have to fight the temptation to do it. But I'm just saying, you just need to hang your head in there, and just if you hit the books really hard, I'm sure you can get back up to speed, and you can stay with that on time.
Do one of you want to comment on that? To say a couple of words on that as well.
I actually have a little bit of a harder transition, I feel, because I took myself all the way to Maine, and I put myself in an environment where I was just, like the hay in the needle stack. I didn't know anyone. I wasn't sure about Maine as an environment, as the place for me. I took myself completely away from friends, from family. So it was a really hard transition, especially not being with my family. And like the parties, they're different, especially like me, if you don't drink or smoke, if you're not that type of person. So it's really hard finding friends there to, to stay with and keep you grounded. So the one thing I would suggest is just make sure that your mom or your dad or whoever you are close to in your family is, the top on the speed dial. Or make sure, also, with me, what I found more reassuring was that I joined a gospel choir, and they were really like, my foundation. So make sure you have people that you can find there just to keep you grounded, especially because I know my transition I'm still struggling a little bit. But like Richard said, once you get past that first semester, it's only going to go down here from there. So.
The thing I would say, caller, and I do thank you for calling, is never give up. I don't care what happens. You never give up. And you never be afraid to ask for help. Ask questions, caller. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and don't be afraid to ask for help. And whatever you do, never give up. They don't just let anybody into Northwestern, young lady.
That's true.
You got some skills, so you never give up. I don't care what happens. We don't have time for any more callers, but I wanted to say a couple things. I wanted to say that this is my last show, and this has been an incredible way. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate these students coming in and sharing their experiences. It means a great deal to me, and I hope that it means a great deal to the audience out there. I want students that when you go to these colleges, these are just some things that I believe. This is what I believe. When you go to these colleges, when you go to work hard, you go to dominate math, go in with the mentality that true enough, you're going to have your degree in engineering, you have the degrees in theater and biomedical engineering, but have a mentality to have multiple streams of income. Have hobbies and interests, things that you can do that could possibly make money while you're doing your profession. You could be making. It's good to have multiple streams of income in today's economic climate. And then the last thing that I want to say to the parents is I ask the students what family impact did they have, and how did their family impact the decisions that they made to put forth their best effort. So I want families to inspire and encourage their children to put forth your best effort in school, not only just to dominate math, but to dominate English and science and every other class that they have, so that our students can indeed dominate not only math, but dominate history, dominate English. And our students can do this. Our students can do this, and our students will do this. All right, so this is all we have. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.